And we are live. I'm here with Adam Cullen. Adam, I was looking at the last time I spoke to you, and it was back at Caterers 137 when you won by Anaconda Choke. It's been a while.
Been a long time ago. That now, what was that? 2022
Yeah,
ago. But yeah,
in
no, it was good night.
Colchester.
Colchester, long drive. That for me. Bit of a strange show as well, wasn't it? It was like a reduced crowd or whatever, wasn't it? Unplugged.
Yeah, that's right.
Fond memories of Colchester, but not so much the drive home. Like,
No, well, it's lovely to speak to you again. And now, of course, we're talking about Cage Warriors 168. I'm absolutely buzzing to see you back in there. How do you feel?
oh yeah, I can't wait. To be fair, I didn't think I'd be out this long. Since my last one, obviously, I've asked to fight in Newcastle straight after, but they couldn't get me on the card. But yeah, finally, March the 16th, back in there and ready to put on a show again. Bit of a home show for me now, isn't it, Manchester?
Yeah, I guess it's the closest that you guys can fight at the moment.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I like the crowd. It's good. The venue's good. I mean, we
Yeah.
always get a good turnout, and the atmosphere is always popping when any of the lads walk out.
And so far, I'm right in saying it's only you and Liam Gittins on the card from Next Gen at the moment. Is that right?
Yeah, just us two confirmed for now. A few more of the lads are waiting to get matched, and hopefully in the next week or so we'll have a few more confirmed. I mean, obviously Luke Riley's not got an opponent yet, but obviously they'll be dying to get him on there, won't they? He's a bit of a fan favourite.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. That you guys always take the roof off, and I know they've got the unplugged event the day before, but I can only see you guys being on the 168 because they're going to want the crowd for you guys
Yeah, yeah, but that's it. We've got Liam Gittins as the main event so far, haven't we? Defending his title
defending his title.
against the Yank, haven't we? So it'll be good. It'll be a good night for the lads. I'm sure we'll get some big fights on there, and it'll be another next gen show.
What do you think of Liam's fight at this one? And it must be amazing to have another Cage Warriors champ at the gym.
Oh yeah, it's sick. I mean, Liam, the last time we all the lads turned out, we went down to Newcastle to watch him, and it was a boss show and a boss night. I think last time they all counted Liam out a little bit against Reese. Obviously, Reese is a good fighter and all that, but
Yeah.
we all knew what was going to happen on the night, and Liam done exactly what we knew Liam would do and beat the fuck out of him for 5 rounds, and I can see the same thing happening again. To be honest, I think Liam's going to absolutely run through this Rob. I think this Rob is completely underestimating how good Liam is, and I think Liam's going to put a beating on him. And when Liam goes and starts beating down on people, he's a nightmare, like the nickname says.
He's yeah, that last performance from him was so mature. I just thought he looked like it was his best performance by miles. And like you say, Reese is great, and I have no doubt that Reese will be Cage Warriors champion in the future. So it just makes that performance all the more impressive to me.
Yeah, I think it'll definitely age well as Reese goes on in his career and wins more fights than that. It'll just show just how impressive Liam was that night, and he was just so composed. I mean,
Yeah.
Liam's known for being 0 to 60, just absolutely
Yeah.
ripping at people, putting a pace on, but he was composed at the same time while still having that like patented getting style. So it was good to see, and it was good to see like a proper experienced win from Liam. And I mean, after watching that fight, I think he's ready for the UFC after he beats this Rob.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think many people would argue with you. He's got a lot of experience and he's fought some amazing people. So yeah, I don't think many people would argue that his time is definitely coming. But I want to talk about you and your fight against Harel Cohen. What do you think of this matchup? He's 6-0, undefeated.
Yeah, I don't really know too much about him, to be fair. I mean, his last
Yeah.
performance, he beat Tom Mullen. I've watched Tom a lot before. Obviously, we fought on like similar shows as amateurs and that. And Tom's really good,
Yeah.
and quite a close fight. To be fair, I think a few little things that could have gone, like little
Yeah.
positions, a few scrambles. If it turned out a bit different, the result could have been different. But he's a good opponent. You know what I mean? He's going to be confident. He was 6-0. I remember when I was 6-0, how confident I was coming in. And I think, yeah, he's definitely a worthy opponent, but it's just I just know I'm different. You know what I mean? I know how good I am. Ask the lads I train with every day. I know how good I am, and they know how good I am. And I think with no disrespect, but he's never fought anyone anywhere near the level of me. I think I'm world class. I think I'm world level right now, and I think he's going to find out on the 16th of March just how good I am.
I think that's fair to say. You're a massive step up for him. So I think it for him it is a big step up, both in your experience, the people you fought, and level as well.
Yeah, I think even the occasion. I mean, these Manchester cage body shows, they're massive, and the crowd's going wild and all that. I think even anything going from, I mean, he fought in the Olympia in FCC, which is obviously a good show in itself, and then the other shows were like over in Israel and over in the Middle East, and it's just not the same level. And I think even going on from that, like no one's really seen loads of me in the cage. Obviously, most of my fights are finished in the first round. I mean, again, I'm just on another level at the minute. I'm getting better every day. I mean, I'm 25. I'm young. I'm training every day. It's just he's not ready. He's not ready for me.
I wanted to ask you about all those first round finishes. Would you like some more cage time? I know that, you're not going to say no if the opportunity to finish the fight arises, but would you like more cage time?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to come eventually, isn't it? The cage time, but my priority is finishing fights at the end of the day. You see some of these guys on other shows and they can't finish fights and end up getting beat in fights at the winning. Do you know what I mean? How many times have we seen people win a fight, win 14 minutes of a 15-minute fight and get stopped in the last minute, and it's purely because they can't finish fights.
Yeah.
That's not how we train in our gym. We train to kill people and put people away. And I take it to heart, and that's exactly how I go in there every time. So, yeah, I think the experience is going to come. If it doesn't come in the next few fights or whatever the cage time, it's going to come eventually. So I'm not worried about it. But if these lads aren't on my level, that's their problem, isn't it? I'm always going to go for the finish.
Yeah. And can we talk about your one loss? How did you, feel following that? How did you kind of motivate yourself afterwards? What was going through your mind? And obviously, I think it probably it felt like a shock to everyone. Was it a shock to you?
Yeah, it was definitely a shock to me. I mean, it was at that point in my career. I was 6-0 and obviously smashing through people. I was having no problem. The only problem I was having was getting matched.
Yeah.
And I think I switched off, to be honest, in the preparation, because I think I had something about like 5 different opponents.
Yeah.
Coming into that fight. I had ex-UFC fighters, so I was meant to fight. I had like #1 guys in like China and stuff that were getting flown over, and wrestlers from like Tajikistan. I was preparing for all kinds of styles, and then when 2 weeks out, I lost my opponent again before it even being announced, and I ended up with Garlian. And to be honest, I reckon I switched off. And then a few things went wrong with my weight cut and that, and it is what it is. But it's all experience, to be honest, because after that fight, I realised maybe I wasn't the level I thought I was at that point.
Yeah.
And I think, to be honest, if I had gone in there, stopped Garlian, I could be in the UFC now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
With a little bit of luck and whatever, I could be 8-0 and signed to the UFC.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I wasn't ready for it then. I'd have been like 24 and signed. It's not ideal, is it? But having the little reset and like the pressure was off a little bit. For like, I mean, I literally remember going into that fight and it was like, "Are you gonna get signed to the UFC after this? You getting signed to the UFC after?" It was like, fucking hell, I've got it. Still going to go and fight this kid here. You know, he's 5-1 coming from Italy, coming for a fight.
Yeah.
When it all went wrong in the cage, obviously stuff happened, and it is what it is. He's a good fighter, and I got beat. He was better on the night. At the end of the day, that's all that matters, doesn't it? You can say what you want about weight cuts and that, but you've got to get it right, and I didn't that time. But I think I've never struggled for motivation. I've known from day one that I've always wanted to be #1 in the world, and I'm not deluded, and I didn't think I was going to go 30-0 and become the best in the world. It just wasn't going to work out like that. So I was happy in a way to have that loss because it's just more of experience and more time, and I think it's completely remotivated me. And like you know, the sun doesn't shine out of your ass. You know what I mean? You've got to put the work in, and I'm excited to go in. And people still bring up that loss all the time and the knockout and you've got no chin and all that, and that just motivates me even more to think, yes, sound okay, then we'll see, won't we?
Do people really say that?
Yeah, of course. You
What,
get all the
online?
comments online, don't you?
Trolls.
But, yeah, it sounds. And I believe in one of the other weirdos. I offered to fight Chris Bungard, and his excuse was he got knocked out a few fights ago. Bit weird, but he still doesn't want to fight me. But if he wants to fucking go on about another man's win, he can. He's a fucking weirdo. But at the end of the day, I'm here to win. I'm here to fight. I'm here to fight the best people. That's why I asked for people like Bungard in the past.
That would be a great fight.
But he seemed to take it personally when I asked for it. I said I'd fight him in Scotland, and his response to that was, "Why don't you ask to fight George Hardwick or Paul Hughes?" I mean, the weirdest response to a call out ever. Like, but it is what it is. He's fighting Gurley now. I'm excited to see that fight as well. That'll be a good fight. But yeah, in terms of me, I'm back and I'm excited. I'm happy I got beat that time because it just made me even more dangerous now.
I think it does, like, it can tell you a lot about yourself, how you handle it, what you take from it, if you choose to grow from it. The people who stand by you and the people who suddenly aren't there, just, all kinds of things that you can learn from that.
Yeah, absolutely. You can think that people want to know you because you get fucking mate and all that, and then you have a little setback like that, and it's still a reset, isn't it? To think, oh yeah, people want to know you when it's going well, and it just keeps you grounded that you're not the boy and you're not the man, and everyone doesn't want to be your mate because you're fucking so sound. Like, it's just the fickle world, isn't it? And it's good to find that out so early and go, okay, and now I'll use that going forward.
Yeah.
And when I am the world champion, I'll remember.
Yeah, and also, like, with the weight cut, like, it's not an excuse, but it's something to take forward for next time. You know how you felt in there, you know how you felt on the scales or whatever, and you don't want to feel like that again. You know what, gives you your best performance in there. So that's as well something you'd rather have a bad weight cut this early on than in the UFC.
Exactly. I said to Paul Rimmer straight after, I was always cutting more and more weight each time. So it was either going to happen that time, or it was going to happen the time after, or my UFC debut, or my second UFC fight. At some point, I was going to mess it up because I had this mindset of more weight, the better.
Yeah.
And that's not the way to approach it. And so it was either find out then or find out later. And I found out now, and it is what it is. And I'm taking a more sensible approach, taking more advice off nutritionists and strength and conditioning coaches. I'm following their advice and their plans for cutting weight now.
So this time you plan to be going into fight week, like how much lower would you not want to say in terms of?
Probably about 3 kilo lower because I was heavy going into the Gurley fight week. It was a big weight cut, very big weight cut, and I won't be doing that again.
Well, again though, something that's good to learn now.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, I was going to do it at some point anyway, because I had this thing of like, I'm good. Weight comes off me fast. I am good at cutting weight.
Yeah.
So then, because I'm good at cutting weight, my head space was like, well, cut more then.
I'll be able to do it. Yeah.
So I was always going to do it because I'm a cocky cunt when it comes to it. So I thought I'm invincible. I'll just cut all the weight. I don't care. It was sound. Found out the hard way, didn't I? Big right hand on my chin reminded me that you're not invincible.
Well, it's a good lesson to learn, but you were straight back the following fight. You couldn't have, made a bigger statement that, that was a blip and you were back in a really big way.
Yeah, it's never knocked me confidence. I mean, you can have bad days sparring, bad days in the gym, bad days in the cage. It doesn't matter, does it? I know where I'm going. So one little loss and in a tough fight, it's not going to affect me. Do you know what I mean? I'm not deluded. I'm probably going to go on to lose again, most likely. And it is what it is. You've got to just carry on plugging on, haven't you? If you know where you're going, you've got to keep at it. I mean, what is anyone in the UFC now apart from Taporia, like a champion under 30? It just doesn't happen, does it? So
no,
so much time. There's so much time to get there, and as long as you're improving every day and learning from your mistakes, that's all you can do.
Absolutely. And I think you want to be as tested as you can before you get to the UFC. I mean, Paddy did it the long way, and they're very quick to cut people. So you don't want to be kind of testing things out in there. You want to know your craft pretty well before you even step up.
Absolutely. I mean, there's plenty of guys that get to the UFC, don't they, and they're not ready, and they're trying to cut the teeth at the highest level, and then it affects the game. You see finishers who become point scorers and stuff like that because they've lost the bottle essentially because they're in the UFC now. But that's why I'm always looking for these tough fights and calling people out when they're getting offended by it. But really, I just want to test myself against who I think is the best. And that's why I'm glad they've got this Cohen, because at the end of the day, he's 6-0. He's coming to beat me. He's not coming to roll over. He thinks clearly that he can beat me, and that's a test I want. Them type of fights motivate me every day, and I wake up every day thinking about him, and I go to sleep every day thinking about him. That he's coming to steal my shine, to set me back on my career and knock me out essentially. And I guarantee I'm going to be the one finishing him.
I'm so excited for it. I'm so excited for the whole card. I'm excited to see Liam defend. I think you've got some other teammates that are going to be announced, and it's just going to be another brilliant night in Manchester.
Yeah, I can't wait. Are you coming down for it?
I hope so. I still got to sort out a few things, but I really, really do want to be there. I'll be sick watching it at home and missing out.
The best fight of the year, Cage Warriors Manchester. It doesn't get better than that. Newcastle was good, but it's got nothing on the Manchester shows.
Oh, I can't wait. I'm literally buzzing. Before we go, is there anyone you want to thank or shout out or anything else you want to say?
No, I just want to say, make sure you're watching the 16th of March. I'm coming to take out another tough and undefeated guy and show that I am the best in the country at this weight class. And the rest of the next gen lads, we're going to just completely take the roof off again. So make sure you get your tickets. Don't miss out. It's going to be a massive show.
Yeah, don't miss out. It's going to be absolutely incredible. And I just want to say a massive thank you to you for squeezing this one in. I know you're mega busy with like medicals and camp and everything. I massively appreciate you squeezing me in.
No, thanks for talking to me. It's been good.
Hope to see you in Manchester.
Yeah, see you there.
Take care. Thank you so much.